Hi, it's February 21st, 2023, and definitely going through a hard moment right now. The power's out. I'm sitting here at my house. It's cold. It's really windy outside, and it's kind of scary. It's not really just like tornadic wind where it just gusts through. And where I live at the bottom of the San Lorenzo Valley, like along the San Lorenzo River, it's particularly known to have this like funneling effect. So it's been really scary. The last big windstorm took down all kinds of limbs, and I thought I was dying. Like literally woke up in the middle of the night, and it sounded like a landslide was happening. It was just like boom, 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 boom. It turns out it was redwood limbs falling all over my roof. Um, so yeah, the reason I'm filming right now is because I'm like maxed out, and this is like a great time to kind of like reflect of like this breast cancer journey with the air quotes, of course, um, because it's February and that's my month. February 3rd, 2020 is when I was diagnosed, so it's been 3 years. The 26th was my mastectomy, which is coming up on Sunday. Um, and I've been through the ringer, man. It's been really tough. Like 2021 was kind of this reprieve of like celebrate, yay, you have your life back. Which was wonderful to like travel and feel healthy. You can see my hair has grown back quite a bit. This is, 2.5 years post chemo, or not quite 2.5 years, but 2 years ish post chemo. Um, and yeah, I'm in a hard place right now. Ron and I are divorcing. It's been 4 months since I filed for divorce on October 20th, 2022. I'm not going to talk about that, but um, I mean, like the details, obviously, but it's been a nightmare and a complete bomb. Um, so here I am alone, power out. Usually Ron would be out there getting the generator going. Today's his birthday. I think that's what's making today extra hard. Is I still have a lot of love for this person. So being alone just fucking sucks, man. I will say that. I'm not meant to be single. I think people are meant to be with other people. As much of a loner and introvert as I always talk about being, which is very true. I do need a lot of alone time, and like I love being in a relationship though, and I love romance and like love and just that experience of being like completely unconditionally loved by somebody. I thrive in that, even though I need a lot of space, it's like I'm not clingy. I'm not the kind of girlfriend that's like, I want to be with you all day and like I don't know what else to do if I'm not with you. It's like I have all kinds of hobbies, but I just think life is like it's more fun when you have somebody to share it with, and I think love is what it's all about. So it's been a really, really tough, like, just the last 4 months have been awful. And then on top of that, earlier in 2022, my dad died of cancer. And it happened super fast. And it was February when he was diagnosed. It was actually yesterday, or 2 days ago, um, a year ago. And it happened super fast: stomach, liver, brain. He'd been having symptoms for months before, but by the time everything was looked at and scanned, um, it was stage 4. They're like basically said it's too late to really try anything. Um, I mean, there were a couple things, but anyway, long story short, it was 2 weeks from the day he was diagnosed to the day he died. And my sisters, Bonnie, Mary, and I took care of him with Ella, his wife, at Bonnie's house in Lafayette. And just like, it was, it was one of the hardest things I've ever been through. And yet it was also a gift because it was this extra time to like say goodbye to my dad and like be with him and have those conversations. And it was one of the most trying times. Watching somebody that you love suffer is no fun. Um, and the loss has been uprooting. I feel like he has always been that person that has known me the best in my life and understood me the best. I always felt the most seen by him. And now it's like this complete, just, I feel invisible almost. It's like, who else in the world sees me in the way that he saw me, in the way that he got me? And that's what love is. And that's why losing Ron, even though, knock on wood, obviously, I mean, he's healthy, he's alive, you know, obviously, it's different, it's not death, but it is an emotional death going through a divorce. And it's really kicking my ass. And power's out now, and it's just sort of like this constant. I almost feel like when I got cancer, I was supposed to die. And it's funny because I'm not superstitious. Like, I don't believe in like fate or like that, you know, like if you do something bad, you're going to upset the gods and you're going to get punished or things like that. But I do often have this feeling of like I was supposed to die. Like, I had cancer, and I didn't, obviously, you know, knock on wood, I'm here. But it's almost like I feel like the earth has been trying to kick me off ever since. Like, nothing, not, and I know that sounds ungrateful because has been a lot of good stuff that's happened, but it's like I've lost so much health wise. I'm still struggling with tamoxifen. I just recently had surgery again to get new implants just like 8 weeks ago. I mean, it's like never ending. And tamoxifen is making me so irritable all the time, even though I'm on like half of a dose now. I'm on 10 milligrams now instead of 20. I'm like just in constant state of irritability and rage almost. I get mad. It's awful. Like, I'm really struggling. And then you add in, I have to go to work, and like I still have to pay the mortgage. I might lose my house in the divorce. Like, all that stuff's going to be like to be worked out still, but it's completely overwhelming to lose your entire sense of like losing my dad. That was like rug pulled out, lost at sea, complete lack of like, whoa, I felt completely lost in the world. And then losing Ron after being together for 16 years and like having all in all an amazing marriage, it's just a double whammy. So I don't know what I'm trying to say, except for this is the lowest I've ever been in my life. I want to say that. I want to make that very clear. That's why I'm filming right now. Look at this freaking dark sitting here. It's like a perfect analogy of like the power's out, the light is like, I have this like dim lantern over there. I have candles, of course, I can light, but I don't want to smoke out the place. It's cold. Bathrobe on. It's like I'm trying to stay warm, and just a hard time. And I just hope, I mean, all I can do is just keep going. It's like my word of the year, I like did the 1 word challenge. I roll my eyes because I think stuff like that's silly. But I do feel like there is a theme in my life. Every time I go through adversity, I have no faith. And faith is like always something I lack. I get completely fatalistic, like everything's over. Like right now, I feel like the best of my life is behind me. Best years are done. Like, it's all downhill from now. And that's fatalistic, you know? That's like, and I'm nihilistic as well, which is just like, nothing matters, none of this, I don't matter, It's like, I'm not very spiritual, I'm definitely not religious, I do not believe in God or anything like that, and I don't believe in, like, spirits. I mean, however, it's like, I mean, I do believe in nature, and I do believe in, like, the flow of that, and cycles, and I do believe in intuition a little bit, just in the sense of, like, trusting your instincts, because there's been so many times, like, when I saw mountain lion my first time, like, literally 10 minutes before, I was like, oh my god, mountain lion. I was thinking about a mountain lion. Oh my god, what would I do? And literally saw one. It was like, things like that. So, I just, faith, again, back to the 1 word thing, it comes up for me, like, I met a professor in Spain when I was 17, I just graduated high school, and he and I had this conversation at the Prado Museum, Museo del Prado, in Madrid, in Spain. And it was a short meeting, and it was just this nothing romantic at all, nothing not like that, but it was this amazing, influential conversation about life that just happened while he was eating his lunch. And I remember I'd had an argument with my older sister Bonnie because I wanted to buy this guitar and I wanted to spend like $400 on it or something, and my wise older sister was like, we're like 5 days into the trip, do not blow all of your cash on this guitar that, one, is going to be hard to travel with, but two, it's like you're going to spend all your money, blah blah. And she was right, of course, but I was upset and I was, and I kind of like had a moment out there. And then that's when the professor and I started talking, and it quickly turned just super deep. And it was one of those moments where like time stood still, and it was just like, I was almost like being out, not that I would know. So I've heard, under the influence of drugs or something. And so we're sitting there and he goes, you're going to be successful in life. You're smart. You understand how the world works. Like, you're going to be good at that kind of stuff. Where you're going to have trouble is faith. That's going to be your challenge in life, is faith. And he didn't mean it like a religious sense, but just like having faith in general, and like believing in myself, believing in the way the world works, trusting the future, trusting that things will work out, things like that. Like, and this is all, we're all talking in Spanish the whole time. That was the beautiful part, is this conversation. It just really affected me. And then it was literally like, okay, I have to go back to work. And he stood up and we said goodbye. And it was like this eye-opening moment. And I haven't learned it yet. That's the funny part, is that every time something hard happens, I go, that's my default, is going back to just fatalistic, nihilistic, just like no hope, it's all done, everything's screwed, you know? And so right now, being this low, I am trying to tackle my mental health. I even, like, I've been putting in a lot of work on myself and taking it seriously and stuff, because I'm generally a pretty upbeat, positive person. And it's like, post-cancer, I've not been able to catch my breath very much, and it just feels like the hits keep coming. And so, faith. Trust it's going to work out. Have faith. It's so easy to say it. And I am not there yet, but I am disciplined. I'm a good student. That's something I've always been good at, is I'm pretty good at following a routine. It's like, I know exercise works for me, so I keep doing it. And every day I go do something, or I stretch, or I hike, or mountain bike, or run, or whatever, go tide pooling. It's like, stay busy, and I mean, my house is pretty clean, like I'm staying busy as much as possible, but a lot of that also is a distraction, is trying to like not feel the anxiety and the depression that I'm feeling, coping with the divorce and the loss of my best friend and my lover and the person I thought I was going to genuinely be with for the rest of my life. It's like, this is no light adjustment here, it's I'm in like affection withdrawal, like I'm completely alone, and just, it's a lot to get used to. So thank you for listening, whoever you are. Again, this is kind of more for myself, this whole video thing. It's like, I'm not trying to, obviously, I'm just trying to connect with people. I am trying to express myself though, and I'm trying to get it out, because I do feel like these moments in life, as difficult as they are, they're teachers, and you have to lean into those lessons, because otherwise it's like, what's the point? It's like, examine your life, right? A life unexamined is not worth living, whatever, it's Socrates. So it's like, just trying to like keep my head up, just trying to keep going. But this is really, really difficult, and I'm not going to sugarcoat that. I'm not going to act like any of this is easy. So life, 3 years post breast cancer, it's not the rainbow you maybe think it is. And I don't know that I ever thought that I was going to like finish treatment and there was going to be like this magic rainbow, and it's like, it's all okay now, yay. I don't think I ever was that simplistic about it, but like, there is a sense of disappointment of like, shit, the recovery sucks kind of too. It's like, you don't feel like yourself. You're not physically as strong as you were. You have drugs that you're taking in some cases, like my tamoxifen, that mess with your mood. and all kinds of stuff and make you irritable and make your joints and your body hurt. It gives you weird body aches, hair thinning, skin wrinkling, voice lowering. There's all kinds of effects when you remove estrogen from your cells, which is what my cancer fed upon. So tamoxifen does a decent job of what it does to help reduce your recurrence risk. But man, it's a really, really tough one to weigh against, risk of recurrence and quality of life. Because quality of life is like, as I'm realizing now, it's not fun being cranky all the time, and it's not fun getting like road rage when you're driving and somebody cuts you off. Like, that's not me, and I don't like that. And so that's where I do sometimes think about going off tamoxifen altogether. I'm not sure. Again, I'm doing 10 mils right now, and even then, I sometimes skip a day once a week. Life's really short, and I want to do all I can to reduce my risk of recurrence. But mastectomy, radiation, chemo, 2.5 years almost in on tamoxifen now. I'm supposed to do it for 10. So anyway, this is long-winded. Yeah, I love life. That's the truth of it all. I have great passion for life, and I think it's such a fucking rad opportunity that you shouldn't waste. And I do think you should lean into all your feelings. I don't think you should run from them. And so I am leaning into this. I'm leaning into my heartbreak. I'm fucking feeling it, dude. But I am going to get through it. And hopefully there is more love for me on the other side, because I got a freaking lot of love to give. Sorry for all the swearing. Thanks for listening. Adios.